Hello guys and welcome back. Welcome back to Dylan's Little Hobbies, and in today's video we are going to be reviewing none other than the Incredible Hulk. So, I'm actually a humongous Marvel fan. Really, I only know the MCU. I mean, yeah, when I was really little, I used to actually watch like I think it was like the 1980s, 1990s reruns. So I grew up, I'm 24. I was born in 1997, but I grew up in the early 2000s, and I remember, of all things, actually, it was really weird, kind of foreshadowing now, but I remember on the Disney Channel, of all things, late at night when almost no kid would actually be awake unless they were like me, you know, who just stood up no matter what. I just stayed up no matter what. Yeah, late at night. I mean, like early in the morning, late at night, like almost at like 1, 2 o'clock in the morning. I remember that on Saturdays, because I was able to stay up to whenever I wanted to on Saturdays, so I stayed up till like 3 o'clock in the morning watching just TV shows that I liked. And one of my favorite TV shows to actually watch as a kid was like I don't know, was it the 1980s or 1990s version of Spider-Man, Iron Man, and the Incredible Hulk. So Hulk, really, Spider-Man was my first, Hulk was my second, and Iron Man was the third superhero that I ever got introduced to. And it's thanks to those TV shows. And I remember in the Hulk TV show that I used to watch, Bruce Banner would go on these grand adventures, trying to not get angry, trying to undo what he as unfortunately has done with all the gamma rays and everything that's him. Unfortunately, it never works, and the Hulk always busts out. I remember a lot of the Hulk storyline, but if I'm being truly honest, other than the idea that he's a monster that got created by gamma rays, there's not much substance to Hulk's story. And I mean, with that said, I don't read the comic books, so I'm obviously wrong. Like I've seen some of the like there's a movie where Hulk goes to planet. I think it's called Planet Hulk, where he's like a gladiator and stuff like that. I've seen movies. I've seen the Hulk movies, TV shows, obviously. But when it comes to the MCU Hulk, there's not much to him. He's just a raging monster. And part of that I like, part of that I don't. It's hard to explain because, simply put, he's never going to be as memorable as like Tony Stark or Captain America or hell, Spider-Man, which, yeah, we'll eventually get into Spider-Man in the MCU sometime later on. But when it comes to Hulk, he's just a raging monster. And I kind of wish that I could remember more of him. And indeed, for the making of this video, I want, because I did the Iron Man movie just based on my memory. I did that Iron Man video a couple weeks ago just based on my memory of the first Iron Man movie. And I remember everything about the story. And truth be told, while I remember the outline, I don't remember anything about the Hulk movie, the Incredible Hulk movie. I don't remember anything. So for this video, I had to go back, and I didn't even watch it. I just skimmed it. I skimmed a lot of the movie, and there's some things I like about, some things I don't like about. While I was skimming, of course, the memories kind of popped up in my head. remembering that this happened and that happened. Like, I remember what happened. It's just it's been such a long time, and I gotta admit this: Hulk really might be the worst MCU movie. By the way, it's not even on Disney Plus. Of course, this was technically made before the whole Disney takes over Marvel deal. And obviously this movie comes out after Iron Man. Honestly, if it wasn't for the fact that you had the tie-ins with, of course, S.H.I.E.L.D. and then the big Tony Stark reveal at the end of the movie, you would never figure out that this is an MCU movie. And that's something that I kind of don't like. I kind of feel like this is the forgotten MCU movie. And it's kind of sad that it's forgotten, because truth be told, something that I really do like about it is Hulk's design. In fact, I prefer this Hulk versus the Hulk we get in the Avengers movies. He's just so big, so monstrous, so villainous, so angry. This is what I envision as the Hulk. And truth be told, while I love Hulk in the other movies, like Thor Ragnarok Hulk, brilliant. Hulk in the first Avengers movie, I love it when the one alien yells and Hulk responds with his own monstrous yell to start the battle. I love that. Hulk is such a cool character, and Hulk is one of the the first 6 Avengers we get introduced to in the first Avengers movie. Yes, I do like Hulk. But truth be told, man, there is really nothing except other than the idea that he's a monstrous creature. Nothing that I really like about that movie. Like, this is pretty much the story. We got Hulk on the run. We got Bruce Banner on the run, trying not to turn into the Hulk. Eventually, he meets up with Betty Ross, his girlfriend. And you know what, Betty Ross, honestly, I wish she had a better role to play in this movie. She really doesn't. Like, I remember Betty Ross from the cartoon that I used to watch, the Hulk cartoon, and she used to play a massive role, trying to calm him down and trying to be there, trying to follow him, trying to find out where he is. And honestly, it starts out with her at some school on some date, forgetting all about Bruce Banner, and then Bruce Banner shows up. She's like, "Oh, it's my boyfriend." It's like, have you even been trying to find him? Huh? And then throughout the rest of the movie, she kind of Betty Ross is such a fantastic, amazing character, and in this movie, she practically does nothing but stand there and look pretty. That's it. I wish she had a better role to play in this movie. I wish she was the one that was trying to find Hulk before her dad and everything else, and that's how the movie started out. I wish the movie didn't start out with Bruce Banner. I wish it started out with her, and I wish that she, honestly, even though it would be a Hulk movie, what would be really cool and something that I would do different, is I would start out with her. I would have her be the main character for a little bit as she's looking for something. She's going through all these files. She's tracking something. We don't know what she's tracking. Finally, she thinks she's there. The military shows up, and he starts sneaking around. When all of a sudden, a monster shows up, the Incredible Hulk. I think that would have been a much better movie. Give her some much more of a role, because she had a fantastic role in the old Hulk cartoons I used to watch. Instead, she really does nothing in this movie but stand there and look pretty. And then we have the main villain of the movie, and yes, the main villain is Abomination, which I love Abomination's design. I really do, and I really like him, You know how he pretty much has this whole rivalry with the Hulk, with Bruce Banner. I think they set it up quite well. I just think that we need like more of him. Like honestly, there's almost no humor in this movie. It's a drab, long running movie. You know what? DC vibes. DC vibes are in this movie. This is how I feel about most of the DC vibes. Like, you can have a dark, monstrous, evil movie, but have some good humor. You know, you can have a joke that doesn't take away from the scene. Have some good humor in a movie. You know, that's something that I feel like the Marvel Cinematic Universe, at first, actually did well. And then eventually they got to a point where, yeah, it's too much. Don't get me wrong, I love Thor Ragnarok, and I absolutely love what goes on in the Guardians series, Guardians of the Galaxy. But if I'm being honest with you, no, they could tone down the humor, add to a little bit more of the serious scenes, and it would have been played out better. That's why I think Infinity War and Endgame, but especially Infinity War, does absolutely perfect. Is it has the right amount of humor, but right amount of darkness to add to the scene. And while yes, I think there should be a little bit more of a dark tone to the movies, I would like that. But you still have to have that humor that has you relate to the characters. And honestly, I feel like we don't get that in the Hulk movie at all. Honestly, the only cool part that I even remember of this movie is skipping straight to the big battle at the end with Abomination. And again, I do like Abomination. So many people have problems with Abomination's design. I think it looks cool, and I prefer 100% the design they have in the Incredible Hulk movie to the design Hulk has in the other movies, like that short shaved hair. You don't see any of the absolute muscle fibers. Like Hulk is hulked out like in this movie. And something that I really like is just how dark and dingy and scary he is in the beginning. Like truth be told, I think the first Avengers movie, I think, started out that way, and I kind of wish they kind of kept him as being a scary, monstrous creature, and less of honestly, a humor character. Like he's there for jokes. Don't get me wrong. I think Ragnarok, he was perfect. I love Ragnarok. It's one of the funniest movies ever. I think it fit. Honestly, though, you could have toned down the humor in that movie. You could have turned it from 11 to about 6, and it would still fit the MCU perfectly. Like, dang, I love Ragnarok. It's hilarious, but they didn't need to go that humorous with it. Seriously, you gotta find the balance, and that's not easy. But I don't think it's funny. Thor Ragnarok is too funny, while this movie isn't funny enough. You gotta find the right balance between the story and the humor. And yeah, again, I like Betty Ross. I do. I wish she had a better role in this movie. But anyway, thank you guys for watching. Let me know your thoughts about Incredible Hulk, the second movie in the MCU. Thank you guys for watching, and I am out. Bye.